I'm Debbie.
And I'm Alison.
And we're the Poltergals. Spooky.
Hi, I'm Alison.
And I'm Debbie.
And we're
the Poltergals.
And on this week's episode, we're going to be doing the Bell Witch Cave.
That's right, in Adams, Tennessee. Yep. Because you're the only 10 I see.
Aren't you funny? So funny for those lame pickup lines.
I know, I do the best I can. Well, welcome back to another episode of the Poltergals. And Allison is going to get us started.
Yeah. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of history because this is also tied in with the Bell Witch Farm, which will be a possible future episode.
Sometimes they're just too long, so they need a two-parter. Yeah. But also, we don't want it to be too much of a two-parter when it goes. So yeah, it's going to be a two-parter.
Yeah. So stay tuned.
For next time.
Oh, yeah.
Not next episode, but maybe an episode in the future. Yeah.
You may never know.
You never know. We got to keep you on your toes.
All right. So this one has more hauntings because a lot of it is legend.
Legend has it.
Yes. So the Bell Witch Cave is a cursed cave located in Adams, Tennessee, near where, like I said, Bell Farm, where Bell Farm once stood. The cave is approximately 490 feet long.
Ooh, so, that's real long.
Yeah,
that's a long boy right there.
Yeah.
She's deep.
She's real deep. So it traces back to the 1800s when a witch who haunted the Bell family was said to live in what is now the Bell Witch Cave.
That's what my plans in life are. Just move to a farm, get into a cave, and then just haunt a farm. You know, I think that's valid. I just want to be
If that's a life goal, Debbie, I think you need to reevaluate.
Listen, I just want to be a witch in a cave somewhere. Just hiding from people, you know?
I think you need to reevaluate.
Reevaluate my life choices? Never.
Yes. You just bought a house.
Listen, doesn't mean I want to live in a house forever. Listen, one of these days I'm just going to disappear into the woods, never to be seen again, and there will be so many rumors about me. I just, that's the legacy I wish to live.
Yikes. No, Debbie, no.
Oh, okay.
We need you.
Okay, I guess I'll keep doing this show until I'm 80 years old, and then it'll be fine.
Duh.
Yeah, don't we all want to do that? No, whatever's next after podcast, it's going to be I got to get on the VizTube. And then they're we're on VizTube now. Keep an eye out.
Oh, no, VizTube? Speaking of, did you know that there's a Rumble?
A Rumble?
Yeah, it's a liberal version of YouTube.
No.
No. Yeah.
Is this Trump starting his own social media again?
Yeah, it's I don't know.
It's called Rumble?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
I have questions, and none of them are being answered.
But there's that, so the more you know.
The more you know. Well, now we know. We need to get back into the ghosties.
The ghosties. So, in 1817, a farmer by the name of John Bell moved from North Carolina to a 230-acre farm in Robertson County, Tennessee, a rural area not far from the Kentucky border.
Kentucky Fried Chicken. They were right next to a KFC. They were on the border of a KFC.
Did you know that KFC in Jamaica, a lot of them call it keep from cooking or keep fats coming?
What?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I did not know that.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yikes.
How did you learn that?
I went to Jamaica on a cruise.
You went to Jamaica?
Yeah.
Are we going to have a Jamaica spooky episode?
Maybe.
Listen, I don't know. I feel like Jamaica's too chill. There are no ghosts there. They're just
that whole Jaman and how they talk, like the typical, they're literally like that.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Like, they will not go anywhere without saying Jaman.
Jaman.
So, yeah, and I was like, okay, I guess.
I guess.
So, anyway, the cave. So, this is where some of the legends that you will be talking about start.
Ooh.
It's kind of with that. That's kind of like the basis of where a lot of the legends come from.
Mm-hmm.
The cave, it has been associated with the haunting of Bell Witch, a period during which the family was allegedly haunted by an entity now referred to as Bell Witch. Mm-hmm. The cave is located on the property once owned by the Bell family, and many believe that when the witch departed the family, she fled to the sanctuary of this cave.
Ooh.
So,
I'm telling you, I'm gonna flee to a sanctuary of a cave one day. I'll never be seen again.
no.
Oh, but now I told everybody, so nobody's gonna know where to start looking for me.
But what cave is...
Don't worry about it. You don't need to know a cave. That way people can find me. Isn't that the point? Don't worry about it. I'll find a cave.
Sad.
I'll find a real good cave. The best cave.
Sad.
The best cave.
The best one?
The best one will be
Are
mine.
you going to pull a Tom Cruise and
Maybe.
have a volleyball?
Yeah, Wilson. Hello, Wilson. No, it'll be a basketball.
Oh, a basketball?
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be whatever I can find on the side of the road on my way there.
Oh, well, delightful. So, like I said, the Bell Cave was on the farmland owned by the Bell family. They had moved there in the 1800s. The family lived there for about 13 years.
Wow.
During which John became a deacon at the Red River Baptist Church, which, again, you'll get into later.
Spoils.
And then John fell ill and ended up dying
Suspicious.
on December 20th of 1820.
Suspicious.
Yeah.
That's a little sus.
Yeah. So part of this was the Bell Witch Cave, which was the farmland. During those years, this lady named Kate was tormented.
Oh, God.
And it's also listed on the National Historic Registry as of 2008. You can also tour the property and are available by appointment from 10 to 5, but no children under the age of 2 are allowed inside the cave.
Why?
People with fears of ghosts and other spirits should probably also not visit
The cave? Or
the cave.
the property surrounding it?
The cave.
The cave.
The cave.
Dun, dun, dun.
And it's because of the ghosts, which is also why 2-year-olds are not allowed.
Ooh, well, now we know. Is it true that ghosts eat babies? Is that why? Or witches eat babies? Is that what it is? Is that what they're afraid of?
That'd be horrific if they
Well,
do.
you know, what we always say, like, don't they say that, like, underground cave systems help, like, the supernatural, like, help give it to them? Hello? We're getting haunted.
Mike pushed a button.
You pushed a button.
He pushed all the buttons.
But yeah, so you know what they say, like, cave systems help amplify ghosts and spirits, especially due to, like, what do they say, like, the underground frequency or something. We talked about the tunnel systems.
Yeah.
And anything that is a cave or...
like, the energy that it gives, it's just like a natural energizer for the spirits.
Yeah. So the spirits be going
Oh.
and going and going.
Oh.
But yeah, so that's all of the history. Now it's time for a commercial break.
Oh, yeah.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Spooky. Okay.
And we're back.
We're back. It's time to talk about some of the hauntings. Now we've gone over the history. So as Allison previously mentioned, there's not a lot of history specifically for the cave, just that it was part of the farm. And then most notoriously, the family that lived there had some stuff happen to them. So we're going to get into that. So the cave is privately owned, and then, like she said, tours are given, and they're mainly given during the summer and then during the months in October as well. I wonder why. Halloween.
Is that a thing?
I'm already in that like Halloween mentality, and I'm like realizing it's only April, and I don't know if that's good or bad. Like, I just love Halloween so much. As you can tell, because ghost, ghostesses. So first off, I'm going to talk about one of the main legends. So in particular, the legend that is most featured and most prominent is of young Betsy Bell. So some of her friends had gone to explore the cave. While they were there, one of the boys crawled into a hole and then actually became stuck. Have you heard of spelunking?
Heard of what?
Spelunking.
What is this?
So that's where people like go into caves for fun. And they just like crawl down in these like little holes and these little crevices. This like video went viral recently. There was like a hole like maybe this big and about this wide. And a person like has to like suck in to get down into it. So anyway, so this boy became stuck while they were spelunking. So that can be the word of the week. In case you want to know what spelunking is. And then while they were there, a voice actually cried out, "I'll get them out," or "I'll get him out." The boy then felt hands grasping his feet, and he was pulled out of the hole. This supposed entity was invisible, and actually then gave the young explorers a lecture on how just like unsafe it is to be in a cave. So, like, hear me out. Like, there's, like, a witch or a ghost that's just like, "Oh, no, boy stuck in cave. Must get out." Like, literally lecturing them as though a mother would.
Why?
Because this little boy got stuck in a hole.
Why?
So that's one of the legends that's happened there. And then legend has it in the summer of 1817, the Bell family began experiencing paranormal-like activity. Some of the family members saw some strange animals roaming the property. Skinwalkers? Possibly. Others heard knocking sounds on the doors and the walls really late at night. They also heard sounds of chains being dragged through the house and choking sounds. The Bells were able to withstand the frightening occurrences for about a year, but then things started to become unbearable. Unbearable? So John, as mentioned, was one of the family members, John Bell, told his neighbor, James Johnson, about the terrors that were lurking in his home. And after experiencing a few strange things himself, Johnson actually suggested that they should do an investigation. Some neighbors then stayed overnight at the Bell's cabin, so they could experiencing it for themselves. Because they're like, we'll try it out, you know, like, here, let's do a neighborhood sleepover. Bring your jammies, bring your pillows, and we'll just have a little spooky sleepover, a little spooky slumber party, if you will. And they just wanted to see what actually happened. And, like, are these people just fucking crazy?
Dumbest
Are they making fun of it? Like, what's going on, you know? So they went ahead and did their spooky sleepover. And then over time, the unidentified presence in the Bell's home actually developed a voice. So, like, they could hear it. Like, it was talking to them.
Why?
Yeah. So it would provide different entities whenever asked who it was. So, like, they would come up with different names, different personalities. That's actually one of the common things that happen with demons, you know? They give different names because don't they say that, like, names have power? Yes. So whenever you ask for an entity's name, it might not always give it to you because that can help banish it. So, yeah, so names have power. Remember that. Also, this is why we don't do dealings with the Fae, and we don't give the Fae our names. We do not. And this is why I go by Debbie and not my government name.
Oh, no.
The more you know. But yeah, so it would provide different entities when people would ask who it was. Once saying that it was the witch of a neighbor named Kate Batts. And then after that, the force became called Kate, the Bell's witch.
Oh, no.
So, Kate, you are a witch.
Yes. And this is kind of where Kate comes into play.
Yeah.
And she becomes an actual legend.
An actual legend, a
theory.
being.
A theory in itself, because this is kind of where
Yeah.
the story kind of diverts from that.
Yeah. So over the next several years, Kate tormented the Bells family, of course. So John and his daughter, Betsy, experienced the most abuse, so the father and the daughter, which appeared to be due to Kate trying to fulfill two things. Number one, to kill John. And number two, to stop Betsy from marrying a certain boy named Joshua Gardner. She said, I know what's best for you. First off, your daddy needs to die. Number two, you're not marrying that boy.
No.
So you know what? I think she's very opinionated for a witch. So Betsy was often pinched, scratched, and actually had her hair pulled and then was stuck with sewing pens.
Yeah.
And then John suffered from spells of throat swelling. He had the feeling of being... of like a stick being stuck sideways in his throat. So have you ever had a dog that like gets their bone stuck in their mouth?
Oh.
I imagine that's what happened or what he felt, but in his throat.
No, thanks.
And then eventually over time, he just became growing weaker and weaker over the years of torment.
Doom.
To his doom, yeah. And eventually,
literally.
as you said, he got sick and died. So that's a little sus there.
So just a little.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
And so the theory surrounding his death is that he was actually poisoned by Kate, the witch, who took credit for his death. And then in 1821, Betsy then broke off her engagement with Joshua Gardner. So she did end up actually doing what the witch wanted her to, out of fear that maybe she would die too.
Oh, no.
Once these two events happened, Kate then said goodbye and promised she'd return in 7 years.
Oh, no.
She did come back for a short time, saying her visit would be in 107 years.
Oh,
So
what?
every 107 years.
What? No.
Yeah, so the witch was like, I'll be back in 107 years. So what year was that? So 1821. So what year would that have been? It's 107 years later.
1921 and
Okay.
then 1928.
And then 2021.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. Has she returned last year?
Well, if it was 107 years, so 2021 and then 2028.
There you go. So she'll be coming soon.
Oh,
she'll
no.
be coming around the cave when she comes.
Oh, no.
She'll be coming around the cave when she comes.
I got a blast.
And then some believe she actually never left, though. So strange things were still happening afterwards, even though she vowed to be back in 107 years. And then things continue to happen, of course, in the cave. Most of the accounts say that the story of Kate and the Bell family is morbid and, in fact, horrifying.
Oh, no.
According to the legend, Kate actually once saved a young child who then became stuck in the cave, as we mentioned earlier. And then during... hold on, we reset that. And then some narratives actually claim the ghost was a male slave who Belle had killed in the past, which is also sad and terrifying. Again, this was back in the 1800s in, of course, Tennessee, so it happened. And then some say that someone had actually cheated. Someone said that he had actually cheated on someone in North Carolina. Who would come back from beyond the grave for revenge.
Oh, no.
So don't cheat or else your lovers will come back from the grave and haunt you.
Oh, no, no.
Yeah. And then the popular theory is that the witch was actually their neighbor called Kate Batts, who just really had a strong dislike for Belle and his daughter, which was mentioned in the stories. So they're not sure. They're like, is this a witch? Is this a neighbor? Could be a possible slave. Could be a scorned
both.
lover. ¿Por qué no los dos?
What?
That means,
What?
why not both?
Oh, no.
¿Por qué no los dos?
Don't speak a Spanish.
Quiero Taco Bell. I want Taco Bell.
I just got Taco Bell from all that, dude.
Ooh, okay, that's fine.
I'm a coconut man. We talked about this. I'm a
She's brown on the outside, but white on the inside. Okay, but look at me. I'm a little tan. Like, I got a good little bit of sun this weekend, so.
What have you been doing, Debbie?
I know. I went to a cute little plant shop in Austin. So, anyway, back to the story. So this story is known as one of the most Southern folk tales that's out there. And it really started whenever Bell died under these suspicious circumstances.
Seems sus.
People said that he was poisoned, or, maybe he was just sick. People said that, again, he had that weird thing with his throat, so maybe he had throat cancer or something that people had not known before. And again, this just, entered into Southern folklore and never left. And then most of the story behind the Bell Witch comes from a book that was written by Martin Van Buren Ingram more than 70 years after the alleged incidents took place. So this book was called An Authenticated History of the Bell Witch. Unfortunately for fans of the supernatural out there, no one else has actually been able to authenticate what Ingram wrote. So he sure did write a story, but it doesn't mean any of it was true.
Oh, no.
Despite this, the legend of the Bell Witch lives on today in fiction. And in fact, the most famous low-budget indie horror film, The Blair Witch Project, was partially inspired by this legend. And then the movie An American Haunting, starring Donald Sutherland as John Bell, was a more exact retelling of this folktale. Have you seen either of those movies?
I have not.
Ooh.
Whoa. I think I've seen the Blair Witch Project.
I think everybody's seen the Blair Witch Project.
I wasn't the biggest fan of it.
I was gonna say it just made me nauseous. So.
Yeah.
I don't like found footage films. I just not a big fan of it.
Yeah.
And then another thing that makes this particular yarn so chilling is that you can actually visit this rural Tennessee location where it all allegedly took place.
Yep.
So yeah, that's all of the hauntings and some of the folklore behind the Bell Witch. And now we know. Watch your back for Kate because she might be haunting you.
Oh, no.
And that's all for this week with the
Poltergals.
Don't forget to check us out on Patreon. Check us out on all of the places that you get podcasts. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe.
And be sure to join our Patreon because we are adding a whole lot of stuff.
Woo! We've been adding new content. We got some bonus episodes coming on. You can join us to be a baby ghost, a teen ghost, or even a sexy ghost.
Ooh.
Join us and be a Polter Pal. And then, as we mentioned a couple episodes ago, we are actually going to start having Polter Pals come on the episode.
Oh, yeah.
So if you have a haunted story, if you've been haunted or tormented or tortured by ghosts, please let us know.
Yeah. We'd love to have y'all on and tell stories and tell us about your experiences.
Yeah. And if you live in a haunted house, please send us as much evidence as you have.
Yes.
And we'll go over it here on the show.
Of course. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
You've been listening to The Poltergals,
A Rogue Media Network podcast.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.